Welcome back, everyone, to our prayer journey with Mike Toth as we continue stepping through this book of Ruth, one verse at a time. And today we're picking up a story in chapter 3, verse 15, and we're going to go to chapter 4 in verse 9. What we left off last, Ruth, as at the feet of Boaz, requested that he would cover her with his skirt or with his protection. And she gets a positive response and a note from him that he would like to do it, but there's somebody before him, and he has to go and ask that person first before he could redeem it himself. But he promises either way that she will be redeemed. And I think he sends back now a symbolic message to Naomi through Ruth. And we pick up in verse 15. Also he said unto her, bring the veil that thou hast upon me and hold it. All right, so they're still at the threshing floor at this point. And she held it, and he measured 6 measures of barley and laid it on her, and she went into the city. So she took a veil, made a bag out of it, put it upon her shoulder, and she's heading toward the city. In verse 16, and when she came to her mother-in-law, she said, who art thou, my daughter? She could not see because it was still dark out. So when she came to the door, who art thou, my daughter, knowing it was a woman? And she told her all that the man had done to her. So now Ruth shows her all that he has done. And, and look at the barley that he gave me. And she said, these 6 measures of barley he gave me, for he said to me, go not away empty unto thy mother-in-law. Then said she, this is Naomi, sit still, my daughter, until you know how the matter will fall. For the man will not rest until I have finished all the things this day. So she knows from what she's received and how she was being treated that this man really wants to redeem the property and Ruth. So she knows this in her heart. But I think people are restless. I could imagine Boaz is a little restless, but he's wise. He's got a plan. Ruth and Naomi are restless. Hey, I know what we got with Boaz. What happens if this other guy comes and takes his place? You don't know what you're going to have. So to say, you're restless is definitely a sure thing. St. Augustine once said, restless is thy heart until it came to rest in thee. And he was talking about his not knowing Jesus Christ. As soon as he found Jesus Christ, his restlessness left him, and he knew he was okay. And our story here has the same kind of restlessness. If you were making a movie out of this, they'd all be sitting around waiting for the answer. What is going to happen? So let's go and see. And chapter 4, verse 1, then went Boaz up to the gate and sat down there, and behold, the kinsman of whom Boaz spoke came by, unto whom he said, ho, such a one, turn aside, sit down here. And he turned aside and sat down. This is how they made deals in cities at that time. They sit at the gate and, hey, I want to buy something from you. This is a business tactic that this is one of the reasons Jewish people are such great world traders, because they've been doing this so long. So he took 10 men now, this is the second verse, and of the elders of the city, and he said, sit down here. And they sat down. Now, all you need in Jewish law is 2 or 3 witnesses. But yet, Boaz collects 10 witnesses. He's got a plot here, a plan, to make sure he not only gets Ruth and Naomi's land, but that he also will not have any lawsuits coming against him trying to take away the property later. In verse 3, and he said unto the kinsman, Naomi, that is come again out of the country of Moab, selleth a parcel of land, which was our brother Abimelech's. All right, so, and then technically in the Jewish nation, they could not really sell it. It was mortgaged. its mortgage. And what would happen after a certain period of time, 50 years of Jubilee, the property would actually go back to the family. So if Naomi passed away, it would eventually go to someone in her family unless it's redeemed by someone in her family. Now you can see why this is important. There's also another Jewish law here, and that is the law of bringing up children for your wife if you had died, for a man's wife if he died prematurely. And this is exactly what happens here, because you're going to bring up, part of this deal is going to be that you're going to bring Ruth as your wife and bring up her children under the name of the surrogate husband, but it is honor to the family name of Abimelech. So we go on. And he said unto the kinsman that is come again in the country of Moab, sell it thee a parcel of land, which was our brother Abimelech's. And I thought to advertise today, buy it before these inhabitants and before the elders of my people. If thou wilt redeem it, redeem it. But if thou wilt not redeem it, then tell me that I may know, for there is none to redeem it besides thee and me. And after thee, I said, I will redeem it. So this property is probably valuable, and the other guy wants the property for sure because he sees that as a financial gain. What a good deal. All right, verse 5. Then said Boaz, what day that thou buyest the field of the hand of Naomi, thou must also buy it of Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of the dead, to raise up the name of the dead upon his inheritance. That's the thing I was talking about. And the kinsman said, I cannot redeem it myself, lest I mar my own inheritance. Redeem thou my right to thyself, for I cannot redeem it. This man probably has multiple problems. His wife would not maybe like the idea. He doesn't know what Ruth looks like. I doubt very much he does. He doesn't know what kind of woman Ruth is. And this will mess up his inheritance a little bit. So by that chess move of Boaz, he backs off from the deal. Now, this was the manner in the former time of Israel concerning redeeming and concerning changing. For to confirm all things, a man plucked off his shoe and gave it to his neighbor, and this was a testimony in Israel. Therefore the kinsman said unto Boaz, buy it for thee. So he drew off his shoe. And Boaz said unto the elders and unto all the people, ye are witnesses this day that I have bought all that was Abimelech's, and all that was Shilon's and Mahlon's of the hand of Naomi. And moreover, Ruth the Moabitess, the wife of Mahlon. And I'm not going to go any further because we're going to come back to that for the next time. So until next time, may Jesus increase as we decrease.